Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Emma Bennet and I'm a romance writer from the UK, and I am joined today by another UK writer, which is so exciting because I don't often get to do that. And what's particularly lovely about today is that we're both, it's not an easy day for either of us.
Nope.
We're in the middle of a heat wave here in the UK. Obviously we can't have loud fans or anything going on, so the sheen is real, people. The sheen is real.
We are sacrificing it to be here.
Exactly. Anyway, so this is Melanie Steele. I particularly wanted to speak to Melanie because I read her latest book, Cosy Creativity, a couple of weeks ago, and I loved it. Melanie, I have followed your YouTube channel, I think pretty much from your first video, which probably makes me a super fan.
Yeah, it's been over a year now. I couldn't believe that. I looked the other day. I thought, how has it been over a year? It was April last year that I started, so it has flown by.
Yeah, it really has. But yeah, I think I've been a fan from the very beginning, so it is so lovely to have you here today. Like I say, I particularly wanted to speak to you because of your new book. So yeah, Cozy Creativity, Soft Rituals for Slow Creative Living in Midlife. So, okay, my first thing that I wanted to discuss with you about this book is it is very much aimed towards women. And I just wanted to ask you, like, why you felt that that was so important for you in your book and also in your YouTube channel.
Yeah, I think that a lot of books around personal development are written by men and aimed at men. And you read them, you think, well, this is all very lovely, but this doesn't really apply to me. I mean, some of the things may do, but a lot of them, they're not written for people like us. Even people like me that don't have children, they're not for our busy lives where we are juggling all the things and balancing all the responsibilities. And I was like, I just want to write a book that someone can read this and like, oh, finally, someone who understands what it's like to be on the school run like 5 days a week or doing all this and all of that, someone who gets it, because it's a very particular stage of life and there's just not enough representation out there, in my opinion, and particularly in non-fiction. So I just wanted a book that people like you and I could read and feel seen by, rather than just, you know, these 20-somethings from Silicon Valley that have no idea about real life in any which way.
And yeah, and it's all about the grind and the productivity, whereas your book is very much feminine energy, gentle moving forward, consistency with things that you love doing.
A different way of doing it, to say, you know, you don't have to get up at, you were talking about this 5 a.m. to be living your best life. We don't have to do that. There is a gentle alternative that is just going to work so much better in our lives because, you know, of how it's set up. It just makes more sense to do things at times that suit us or in little pockets of time, because we can be very, very busy at this stage of life. So it's just something that made more sense to me.
Sure. And I think, you know, it is very important to push forward with things and to try to do the best that we can do. And, you know, to push ourselves out of our comfort zones. That is so important for our development. But at the same time, especially as women, we do have to be aware of how we work, if you like. The way that our minds work, the way that our bodies work, and being gentle with that and going with it, as opposed to trying to go against it and force it into routines or habits that are just not natural to it in any way.
Exactly. There is definitely that need for balance, because we can't all just sit back every day and be like, oh, I'm just going to do one thing today.
This is nice. I'm going to light some candles.
Do nothing.
My herbal tea.
Well, you wish. But no, that balance, isn't it? It's like, yes, we know we've got to get things done. You know, you've got to get your book to your editor and whatnot, but we don't have to go full hustle mode either. Just that nice, quiet balance that works for us, definitely.
Yeah. And what I liked about your book as well is that it's not, I mean, you are a writer, but it is not just aimed at writers. It is, and it's by no means aimed at people who are wanting to make something, a creative pastime, into their full-time career or anything like that. It is, I mean, it could be used by people like that, certainly, but it covers a very broad spectrum of what we would term creativity, and getting enjoyment out of it, so that it enhances your life rather than trying to monetize it.
Yeah, I think some of the other books on the market, for example, The Artist's Way, fabulous book, amazing book. But when you read it, if you're not someone who's already professionally working in like writing or art, it can feel a bit intimidating. Talking about all these things, you're like, I don't know what this is, or this doesn't apply to me. It feels a bit strict. I don't want to be a professional artist. So I wanted to write a book that was a little more approachable. This is just someone who's like, oh, I used to like sewing before I had my children. I haven't had a chance to get back to that in 15 years. Something just felt like, oh, okay, I could do these small steps, and I don't need to start an Instagram account. I can just do it for myself in my own time, just a little softer and gentler. But as you say, you could use it if you are wanting to, you know, take it from a hobby to something that you do want to monetize. But there's no pressure, because it feels a lot of the time, doesn't online. If you have a hobby, why aren't you making money from it? You must.
Oh yeah, you have to monetize it. It's the hustle.
Everything. You know? It's like the air you're breathing. Why don't you monetize it? It's like, it's too much.
Make an Instagram channel. You could charge for this. It's like, well, I could. But, I mean, in my case, with most of the creative things that I do, I mean, I'm good. You know, I'm pretty good at the writing. I give myself that. But the other creative things I do, I mean, there ain't no one who's going to be giving me money for this stuff. You know? And I'm happy with that. I'm more than happy with that. And something that I particularly like about myself is that I do just like crafts and things like that, and I don't care if I'm not very good at them. I've got a bowl that I made in a pottery class. This thing is dreadful, it's so wonky. I love it.
You made it, and that's why it's great. That's the other thing as well, isn't it? On Instagram, say you want to start pottery, right? And you go look at a pottery account, and it's someone that has been making pots since they were 18 and they're now like 40. So they have like decades of experience, and it's perfect. And you're like, oh, I can't do that. I can't do it as good. And it's so off-putting if you don't have that confidence in yourself. And it's really hard to make something badly. A lot of the time when we start with a hobby we've never done, unless we've got a natural gift for it, it's not always going to look great, is it? And people like you and I might not be too fussed about that, but a lot of people, it's an absolute like, no, I can't do it very well. I'm not going to do it at all.
So if I can't do it well, there's no point. But the other great thing about me, and I wonder if this is the same with you, anytime I try something new, pottery, needle felting, anything like that, I genuinely believe there is a chance that I might be really good.
Exactly.
For about the first hour.
And then I'm like, no, no.
No, turns out not that one either.
You keep going, because you know you could find it in your miracle craft and whatnot, but the fun is in the trying. And you know, if you think it's ugly, you don't have to show it to anyone. You can just have a laugh about it and try something else. Like, there's no need for it to be so serious all the time. No one is grading you on this. No one's going to be judging you. Say, oh, that's terrible. But if they do, I say, what would you please do it? Yeah. What can you do? Show me how you do it better, please, by all means, you know?
Yeah. Maybe it's kind of easier for us to feel that way about things because we both have a craft, if you like, that we can do. You know, so if you've got one, like maybe if you're a fantastic watercolor artist, like you don't care if you're rubbish at embroidery.
But if you haven't done anything in a while, or you can't really remember doing anything at all, then you don't have that little bit of confidence that can propel you forward. You've got no momentum because nothing you've tried you feel like you've been good at, or you haven't tried anything. And that is the hardest bit, isn't it? It's that first step. Like when you first started writing, to do it professionally, that imposter syndrome, like, oh, is anyone ever going to think this is good? Are these the worst words to be written in human history? All these things.
That's still me. That was still me with my copy edit last week. I was like, this sentence is just really bad. Like, why would people read this? Why?
Yeah, it happens to all of us. But after a while, you get more confident. You think, it doesn't matter if it's terrible now because I can fix it later. So I think having the confidence to try something is half the battle. But I hope that when people read this and see that we don't have to start an Instagram account showing it off or show it to even anyone in our immediate family, that having that bit of privacy around it can really help. Because if it's terrible, it's just you and the thing you've made, and it's not going to say anything to you, is it? So
yeah, that is something that I found really, really interesting, was the idea that you talk about in your book about possibly having some secrecy around your crafting to keep it personal. Now, for me personally, I find it quite amusing when I'm not good at something. So I'll be like with the bowl. I'm like, look, everyone, look at my rubbish bowl. Stick it on Instagram, put some ice cream in it. Yeah. Like, I don't care. I'm here for the lols. But I did think that could actually be really, really useful for some people, because it takes a lot of the pressure away, doesn't it?
It does. It reduces the kind of friction. When I was writing that part, I thought the issue that people have is this friction. Like you make something and it's that moment between, should I tell someone I did this, and replaying or thinking of all those horrible scenarios where they tell you it's terrible and you should never bother again. There's this kind of friction there. And that's the part you have to decide, think, maybe I'm not ready for that friction. Maybe I need to have a little bit more time doing this for myself before you feel ready to, like, okay, they could say something bad, but I'll live and I'll be okay. Sometimes we just need that little bit of privacy around it before we are ready to share it with people and get over that kind of friction part of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there is the flip side of that is how wonderful it can be to have support from particularly people who are doing the same thing as you. If you're, if you've got a group of people who enjoy art, for example, and you're all kind of, sharing your struggles and things like that, I think that can be really useful. But I do agree, especially when you're first starting out and if you're not surrounded by other beginners as well.
It can be a bit off-putting, but certainly once you kind of start to share your journey, I think you do tend to find more like-minded people, and hopefully people who are at your level. So if you're a fledgling writer, you wouldn't go sign up for like a masterclass with Stephen King as your critique partner, would you? Like, that would be ludicrous. You want to be with people who are at your level. And that makes way more sense to kind of build up your confidence than trying to like aim here. So yeah, building that supportive community, I think, is really important with people who get it at the level that you're at.
Yeah, it's actually learning alongside people is just so helpful, I think.
Definitely getting the feedback, as long as obviously they are people that you trust, because I know it can be an issue with certain writing critique groups. It's going in with people that you trust with your very fledgling words.
You describe several kind of rituals and ideas in your book about how you can make your creative endeavors kind of cozier, more relaxed, and things like that. How long is this something that you have been trying to put into your life?
I think once I kind of decided that I wanted to really commit to writing, when I first started writing, I was working a part-time job, but once that eventually came to an end and I decided that I really wanted to go all in, even though, obviously we're not at a stage of making a full-time income from these books, I wanted to go all in. And that's when I decided that I just wanted to create these nice rituals, so that because this was the main focus of my day, I wanted it to feel kind of cozy and special, rather than just like a sort of 9-to-5 job that I had signed myself up for in my own office. So having these kind of like softer rituals and moments, even just the little things, just really kind of set the atmosphere and really kind of increased my enjoyment, shall we say, of doing my writing, and even like filming for YouTube and things. It all just makes it feel a lot nicer than if I were just, I don't know, going into an office and doing a very similar line of work, for example.
So with the YouTube videos, how do you cosify that? Because that definitely is something that I struggle with, I think, possibly because I don't like being on camera. And so it is like, oh, I need to film a video today. This is going to be awful. So give me some tips. Help me out here.
Okay. I always like to start either, if I'm doing more of a video essay type thing, like my last video, I like to have more of a script, because then I'm not worrying about what am I going to say. I feel that's an instant killer of Cosy, isn't it? Like, what am I going to say? And you kind of freak out. Or if it's something more chatty, I at least like to have an outline, and kind of having that semblance of what you're going to talk about is one of my kind of key things to feeling more relaxed on camera. But also doing the not sitting down right away, not just plonking yourself down, hitting record and just going for it. I like to ease myself in, even if it's just recording just a few things that kind of helps me to warm up. Then I feel after a while you become more relaxed on camera. So having that kind of little warm up session as well. And of course, good coffee or good tea also helps, just to be there, relax and think, this is not the BBC. We are not filming live. We're not filming, very serious things, and just kind of having fun with it. Like sometimes I think we all get bogged down into what I'm doing is so serious and I must do it right now. And a lot of the times that's just not true. Thinking this is fun. Like, this is an opportunity for me to share something about what I'm interested in or what I'm doing with people that would enjoy hearing about that. And just imagining people enjoying listening to that as well, I think also helps.
Yeah, it's lovely to have the feedback, isn't it? When people comment that your video has been helpful, that they've got something out of it.
That's my favorite thing.
Okay, there we go.
All these nice comments as well, I screenshot them and I keep them in an album on my phone so that if I'm having a day where maybe I'm not feeling as good or as confident, you can go back and think that I helped someone on this day. I think it also circumvents if you're having a day where your brain is telling you negative things that are not true, but are having a hard time believing are not true. Having those nice comments is really useful.
I know that you also you're always kind of changing things up, I've noticed, and trying new ways of doing things.
Yes.
You're not getting stuck in the same old routines. You had a video maybe last week, and it was about you basically brainstorming a prequel for your novel, and that was lovely because that really was just you going, okay, so I want to write this prequel. I don't really know what it's about, but I've got a notepad and pen and I'm going to have some fun.
I like to have a mixture of things that are more fun and informal like that, as well as things that are a bit more scripted. Those are really good for topics that are a bit heavier, that I really want to nail down what I'm saying. But fun and scripted, and having both of those, again, just kind of helps to keep it fun and keep it light. Or else I think with YouTube, you always run the risk of getting a bit down to the numbers. This is certainly something that happens to me, of being a bit obsessive about the metrics in YouTube Studio. So kind of stepping back and saying, you know what, I'm here to have fun. I'm not here to, make millions or be YouTube famous. I'm just here to have fun and trying new things. It's like art, isn't it? You try some things, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, and just, keeping it fun.
How is that prequel coming along now?
I did scrap a portion of it because I was working through the timeline and I realized it didn't quite line up with the Lunar Quartz Library. If I did it this way, it wasn't going to make as much sense. So I was like, right, it's fine. We're going to start this bit again. So I was able to save like a portion of it, but now I've got it fully straight in my head. I'm like, okay, I've got this now. And I'm kind of like, 10 to the dozen when you know what you're going to say and where you're going to say it. It's about maybe a third of the way through. It is not being held by this heat wave trying to write in it. But we're getting there. We're making good progress. We know where the story's going, and that's always half the battle, isn't it? Knowing where we're going with the story. I'm still hoping the end of July. I'm still hopeful for. So we shall see.
Oh, that is fantastic. So how long do you think it's going to be?
I'm aiming for about 8,000 words at this point, because it is just a short story. So I think that's enough for someone to get invested that hasn't read the Unicorns Library or anything else I've written fiction-wise, and then think, oh, I need to know what happens to this person, go on to read the book. I was worried if it was too long, that it might kind of drag out. That just felt like the sweet spot for me personally, with a little short story prequel. And it also means I'm going to be getting new covers for both, obviously, the book that I'm writing, this prequel, and the Unicorns Library are going to be getting more matching covers. I've kind of decided on a sort of...
Oh, okay.
It has had a new cover.
You have changed
like the third cover
already. And I love the new one.
I do, but I think I just want to get them all kind of looking the same, because if I get a cover for this, it's not going to look like that, and it might look a bit disjointed for a series. So I've got what I want in mind, and now every book that follows will have the same kind of design. It just took me a few covers to get to what I wanted, but you're getting there in the end.
It happens. I think one of my books has had like 4 or 5 covers.
And covers trends, but trends change.
It doesn't matter. It keeps things interesting.
It does.
Yeah.
I think some of the trends with cozy fantasy as well are not quite as fixed as they are with things like romance. Like right now, your book, Happily Ever After Bookshop, we are all loving these stores on the fronts of romance books, aren't we? Like it's big business. Yeah, see? Because that's the trend. Yeah. Great. But then, things change. That's just how it is. But cozy fantasy, you could look at 5 books and they would have 5 different covers. So it's a bit less fixed, but I've got it this time. Yeah. I've nailed the design. I'm going to stick to it. She hopes.
It's one of the things that's so wonderful about self-publishing is being able to play around like that, I think, and just go, oh, okay, this isn't quite working. And that's a form of creativity as well, not to be stuck in that mindset that, okay, there we go, that's done.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm never going to change it again because I've done it once.
I mean, especially like early on when, not a ton of people have read it. It's like you have nothing to lose. You're not going to have a legion of people saying, oh, but I really loved this cover, because, it's in its early stages. So why not change it here and now? And it could also, help with read through. People see this and they think this is more the book I want to read. So why not?
Why not? And you might have like super fans who are buying the copies with the different covers, and they're going to collect them. And then they'll be worth millions. Yeah,
that's the plan. That's my retirement plan right there. I'm kidding.
There we go. Plan.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic plan.
Yeah.
Well, before we finish up, I wanted to ask you if there was one tip that you could give people listening today to help them to make their creativity more cozy, and to help them to get more out of it and be more comfortable in their creativity. What would that tip be?
I would say to set an intention. So if you want to say start writing a book, rather than just sort of sitting down and doing this, think, what do I want to achieve in a gentle way? It's like, do I want to tell a very soft story? Do I want to engage with this? Just having that little intention makes it so much more kind of valuable than just sitting down to type. I mean, sometimes sitting down to type is the best thing we can do, but just having that minute to think, what is my intention? Why am I doing this? We don't have to light a candle if we don't want to, or do our scented hand cream. Just that one thing, I think, really helps. The scented things, we do like those as well.
Yeah, I think I can tend, especially if I'm trying to finish writing a book, or if I'm working through some quite tricky edits, I do tend to just kind of lock in a little too much. And I'll kind of come out of it and I'll be like, okay, we need to pee, we need to drink something, we need to eat something. And that's definitely not what we want. We do want a much gentler way of working.
Absolutely. I think what you're describing is the hyper focus that all of us can fall into at one point. You think, what is time? Where has it gone? Have I finished this? Where am I now? It's all a bit discombobulating. But yes, it's nice to have a kind of cozy.
It is, yeah, and it
well.
only happens in the evening.
That's your time for writing, isn't it?
More of a morning person, aren't you?
Yes, I'm awake, I'm good to go, da, 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 da. I think one of your subscribers in your last video said after 3 p.m. their brain was soup. I was like, yes, this person captured my brain after 3 p.m. perfectly. It's like, this is not a time for creative things. This is more admin, boring things time. There is no creativity juices right now.
But it's really good that you know that about yourself, that you've kind of thought about that and you're not pushing yourself to do things at the wrong time. Because that isn't the way that we get our best work out of ourselves.
Thank you very much for having me. It has been so much fun just having a chat and talking about these things. And we survived. We have not melted.
I have melted a little bit, to be honest. It didn't help that because I'm British, I had a hot cup of tea.
Yeah, I mean, I had my water and I'm still melting.
If anybody would like to check out Melanie's book, Cozy Creativity, or any of her other books, I will make sure that I put the links down in the description below, as well as links to Melanie's web page or anything else that she'd like me to, and of course her YouTube channel, which is absolutely full of lovely videos, which will definitely make you feel inspired to produce your best creative work stuff. So thank you so much, Melanie, and I look forward to lots more videos on your channel. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. If you enjoyed this little chat, please make sure that you boop the like button and subscribe if you're not already, because we have a lot of fun on this channel, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.